Hare Krishna. I once again welcome all the devotees in the mid-morning Japa and Caitanya Charitamrta class. Today's class will be given by His Grace Pran Govind Das Prabhuji. Prabhuji, are you present on the call?
Yes.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Please accept my humble obeisances. Srila Prabhupada, Guru Maharaj Ki Jai. Thank you so much Prabhuji for joining this session and giving your association and enlightening on the topic of Caitanya Charitamrta. I hand over the call to you Prabhuji. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji, and thank you all the audience devotees. So we'll begin serving Caitanya Charitamrta under the guidance of Srila Prabhupada and Guru Parampara all the way to Shri Radha Krishna, and especially Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who was explaining this to Sanatana Goswami Pad. And we are serving Madhya Lila, chapter 24, text 196 and onward. So we are very fortunate that, as Srila Prabhupada mentioned in the introduction, in the beginning, that after Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the Supreme Absolute Truth, released the transcendental ecstasy mood of Srimati Radharani, whatever was left over after Mahaprabhu tasted, that became Caitanya Charitamrta. So we are very fortunate extremely that we have that access by the mercy of our Guru Parampara headed by Srila Prabhupada. So we invoke their mercy in the beginning. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Daita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Daita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Daita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Gyananjana Salakaya Chakshur Militam Jena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namah. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Tinani. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunnavadi Paschat Desha Tarine Vancha Kalpa Taruvesha Kripa Sindhu Bhayevacha Patitanam Pavanebho Vaishnavebho Namo Namo Mahabhadanaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratishe Namo. Hey Krishna, Karuna Sindhu, Dina Bandhu, Jagatpate, Gopesha Gopika Kanto Radha Kanta Namaste, Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi, Radhe Vrindavaneshwari, Vrishabhanusute Devi, Pranamami Hari Priye, Vrindaye Tulsi Devaye Priyaye, Keshavasya Krishna Bhakti Pade Devi Sattavate Namo Namo. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Siva Sadi Gaura Bhakta Vinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Jai Srila Prabhupada. So far I missed a few weeks hearing this chapter. They had a very wonderful, the whole chapter is very wonderful explanation of Mahaprabhu's establishing this beautiful verse, Atma Rama verse that Mahaprabhu started. And this will go on another 196, so it's 350, so it's another almost 70, 80 slokas more, maybe close to 100. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is establishing that ultimate prayers of any sloka or verse, it leads to bhakti which attracts Krishna or connect Krishna. So Mahaprabhu, this is what Mahaprabhu's point to us. And these words from Bhagavatam, Atma Ramascha Munayo Nirganta Opi Urukrame Kurbanti Ahitukim Bhakti Bhaktim Ittam Bhuta Gunahari. And Srila Prabhupada very nicely says, those who are self-satisfied, unattracted by external material desire, are also attracted to the loving service of Sri Krishna, whose qualities transcendental and whose activities are wonderful. Hari, the personality of Godhead, is called Krishna because he has such transcendentally attractive features. Now, there's the two things very important here. We notice that. Generally, we think Atmaram means self-satisfied, who delights in himself. But the way Mahaprabhu explaining, it includes everybody, even the materialistic, knowledge inquirer, Jnani, Jogi, Tapasvi, Vairagi, everybody includes. So on 196, this is a very important verse. Of course, every verse is. It says, Udar Mahati Jar Sarvattama Buddhi, Nana Kame Bhaje Tobu Pai Bhakti Siddhi. Udar Mahati. If a person is actually liberal and intelligent, he can advance and become perfect in devotional service, even if he has a material desires and serves the Lord with some motive. Wow. Who would not love that? Especially devotees would jump on it. Said, okay, I still have a desire to enjoy in this world, but here it says these two qualifications. But if you look at this, it has a very beautiful, unique features. It says that Udar liberal. Liberal means in India, generally when somebody gives without reservation, when somebody donate without asking what is this for, they think this is very liberal, when someone always giving. But in bhakti tradition, we say mentality of the charity is also important, not just giving the charity. So liberal here very interestingly explain that liberal means when you have abundance, you own the world or you own all the wealth, then you giving whoever needs as much they need. Who can do that? Only two types of people. One who possesses or one who has access of that possession, abundance possession. So in that case, we can categorize not everybody fit there. It only fits to Krishna or Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the mood of Srimati Radharani, and the devotees who are also holding or have access of that unlimited possessor, Krishna, in their heart. So yes, both can do that. Krishna himself or the pure devotee, both can do that. Generally, when we think of charity, generally we think like for an example, money given in charity to a suitable person is guaranteed that you will have a bank balance in the next life, you can say. Some charity is recommended to be given to a Brahmana. We hear this in Bhagavad Gita. If the money is given in charity to a non-Brahmana, then the money is returned in the next life in the same proportion. So literally you didn't gain anything. But if it is given in charity to a half-educated Brahmana, even then the money is returned double. Now, this is Bhagavatam says. Actually, Prabhupada put this in the 2nd canto, 3rd chapter, text 17. If the money is given in charity to a learned and qualified Brahmana, then the money is returned 100 and 1,000 times. Wow. Who would not give? This is like an investment going to come 1,000 times. Let's give the money to Krishna. Let's give the donation to ISKCON, Krishna Consciousness Project, to some Maharaj. If the money is given to Veda Paraga, one who has actually realized the path of Veda, it is returned, Prabhupada writes, by unlimited multiplication. The ultimate end of Vedic knowledge is realized of the personality of Godhead, Lord Krishna, as stated in Bhagavad Gita. Vedascha sarve ahameva vedda. So there is a guarantee of money is being returned. Udar means liberal, giving. We all are individually, you can see almost 90%, I think so. 90% people in this world likes to give. If you see a homeless or you see somebody desperately needs, you generally think of giving, liberal. There's a guarantee of money is being returned if given in charity. So this is what promoted by Krishna, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, regardless of proportion. Similarly, a moment passed in the association of pure devotee by hearing and chanting the transcendental message of the Lord is perfect guarantee of eternal life. So that is the biggest liberal position. Means you are solving somebody's material needs, but if you can give him Krishna consciousness, that relationship with the Lord, then his material condition life is completely solved. He will be eternally happy. That is the real position of liberal. And it says intelligent. So both things are promoted. Intelligent, of course, intelligent has a many definitions. Prabhupada says intelligent is that which kills the idea before it turns into action. Intelligent is a very broad scale. Still, the highest performance of intelligence is when intelligence confess that I cannot grasp the greatness of great personalities, intelligence called Krishna. And when intelligence comes to, through intelligence, when you come to a point that your intelligence is failing to understand Krishna. Krishna is beyond intelligence. That is a good perfection of intelligence. Bhakti will give us Krishna, Krishna Pran. But to stay in bhakti at the beginning stage until the pure love arrives, intelligence has to guard us. So, like for an example, this morning in Bhagavatam class we had a topic that in our process, if we are robbed repeatedly by the same suspect, then it is our intelligence that is suspect. Means intelligence has to be always guarding us. And if we are failing, that means the intelligence is corrupted. Means it is not a good intelligence. Here, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says this, is like a very liberal word. If a person is actually liberal and intelligent, he can advance and become perfect in devotional service. Wow! Even if he has a material desire, serve the Lord with some motive. The next sloka is backing that. Akama sarva kama va muksha kama udarati vibrena bhakti yogina jajeta purusham param. Let's see. Translation Prabhupada writes, whether one desire everything or nothing, or whether he desires to merge into the existence of the Lord, he is intelligent only if he worships Lord Krishna. This is very nice. So, the Supreme Personality of Godhead by rendering transcendental loving service. Such a perfectly translation Prabhupada gave. That yes, if somebody is advanced, and how do you know somebody has intelligence or not? First question. How do you know? Well, these are the symptoms here given. That he must be worshipping Krishna. Period. Done. Nothing else. If he is a devotee, that means he has intelligence. If he is chanting Hare Krishna, he is intelligent. Now, how much intelligent? That's another question. If anybody, anywhere, appreciating Krishna Consciousness Society, even accepting a book gladly, is intelligent. Amongst devotees, even if somebody is criticizing or putting negativity that keeps people away from Krishna, that is losing intelligence, or intelligence is lost. So this is a criteria. Let me read this again, Srila Prabhupada writes, whether one desire everything or nothing, or whether he desire to merge into the existence of the Lord, he is intelligent only if he worships Lord Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, by rendering transcendental loving service. This is a very standardized, we should remember, this is how we can check whether we are intelligent or not, our intelligence is functioning. See, if you feel attraction to chant, if you are enthusiastic, that means your intelligence is guiding. That's for sure. So this is how the standard should be, and very nice. This quotation is from Srimad Bhagavatam 2.3.10. Bhakti prabhav se kama charaya Krishna pade bhakti karay gune akarshiya. Devotional service is so strong that one engages in it. He gradually gives up all material desires, becomes fully attracted to the lotus feet of Krishna. All this is brought about by attraction for the transcendental qualities of the Lord. So this is very nice. Generally, we come to a point like, is there one thing I could do today that will change my life or that will boost my spiritual achievement or sadhana or practice? What can I do? One thing that will really give a big boost. We may think like this. Well, here it gives a very nice that the desire. Desire is a product of chit potency, Sat Chit Ananda. Chit potency has a two functions, desire and free will or willpower also coming from there. Same thing, free will. So the desire, like Krishna, if you ever wonder, like at the moment of your death, or at the moment of death of the whole creation of the material world, what remains as me, the soul? Well, it is clearly says that when Krishna destroys this creation or your body is finished, it's called death, everything except the desire of each soul is not destroyed. So desire seems like the most powerful thing with the soul. That is Krishna does not destroy. Even though the soul may be not visible to the other's eye, but the soul is eternally existing and holding those desires. If you look at that verse, what is the difference between lust and the love, pure love? It says the desire. Atmendriya piti bancha. Bancha means you desiring, wishing. Karebolikam. For my own sense enjoyment, any desire I have, that is lust. Krishnendriya piti ichcha. Again, same word, ichcha. The desiring to satisfy Krishna's senses is love of Godhead. Wow. Everything, whether it's material or spiritual, it's all originating from the desire. Desire is so powerful. More powerful than desire, there is one thing in this sloka is mentioning. This is the point. So first of all, the desire is the most powerful thing every soul can have. But more powerful than the desire is the mercy of pure Vaishnava. Why? Because they can change the desire. Even your own desire, you'll change. If you have a good association, your desire or your selfishness or self-centeredness or material sense enjoyment changes. Fulfilling our every desire will not make us happy. That we see it. I'm sure everybody experiencing in this life. So, focusing on our most important desire, will. That's why Srila Prabhupada point out many places that the Lord is more anxious to take us back into His kingdom than we can desire. Most of us do not desire, to be honestly. Ask yourself, I'm not accusing any audience, but generally, most of the devotees any stage, they don't think of going back home, back to Godhead. Once in a while, okay, it will be nice in the spiritual world when I go home. Only a few men wants to go back to Godhead, Prabhupada says. It's in the first canto, second chapter, verse 17, Prabhupada stress this, that anyone who desires to go back to Godhead, Sri Krishna will help in all respect. So engagement in devotional service is important, but going back home, back to Godhead is also important. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur was very kind. He says this idea of kama, akama, sarva kama bha. Akama means, Prabhupada translated as without material desire. But akama also has another meaning. Kama means desire, material desire. Or, Bhagavad Gita 10 chapter 33 text verse, Krishna says, Aksharanam akarosmi. Aksharanam, amongst alphabet, who am I? The first letter O. O. O, A, E, E, A, O, U, O, Ang, A. So O is also Krishna. Krishna himself claims. So if you put Krishna O and then your kama, your desire, then it is become Krishna kama. Then Krishna kama can replace all your material desire. All material kama will disappear when we add Krishna in front. That's why it's very nice. Akama sarva kama va muksha kama udharati. Last is very powerful enemy. When intensity arises, or Rupa Goswami Pad call it beggar, like Aditi, Mother Aditi fell to unite with Kashyapa Muni. And the people in this world, the whole world is moving by that. And that's why Krishna gave this warning. The Vidham Narakaishyadam. And last is one of them. So the desire has to be very, you need to watch. It's almost paradox only when you stop wanting to enjoy, even in spiritual path, when we chant or when we do something, it seems like I want to enjoy the spiritual energy, spiritual service. It's almost a paradox. Only when you stop wanting, enjoy chanting for yourself. Will the chanting produce unlimited nectar? You may wonder. To understand this mystery, we must ask, what is bhakti? What is devotional chanting? And of course, we find in the book that it means you chant not for yourself, but for Krishna. Then question comes, in what way? Anukulyena. Anukulyena, Krishna Anusilanam. It says that, the verse says that you have to do it in a favorable. What does that mean? You do it with a favorable mood, that of wanting to give pleasure to Krishna. So I am chanting. How am I giving pleasure to Krishna? This question may rise. That Krishna is hearing my calling. Krishna is giving me chance that I am trying to come back to spiritual abode, to serve Him. And Krishna likes this. Krishna is happy. In Brihad Bhagavatam it says that Krishna is so happy when the devotee make a decision. Yes, I want to go home. Anukulyana. So you do it with a favorable mood that you wanting to give pleasure to Krishna. In this way, when we chant, japa or kirtan, we should think. We want devotee to chant nicely and for Krishna to release their call. Then the activities for Krishna should not be done mindlessly. Means we should focus what we are doing. This is important. Bhagavatam we see, here also giving so much importance about intelligence. The Bhagavatam, there's a famous verse in 11th canto, 20 chapter, I believe 29 or 30. Proktena bhakti yogena bhajato ma asakrita mune. Kama hridaya nashyanti sarve mai hridhi sthite. And when an intelligent person engages always or constantly in worshipping Krishna, through this process, bhakti, loving, devotional service, as Krishna gave us, then what happened? The chanter or the performer heart become firmly situated in Krishna. Then all material desire within the heart are destroyed. We have a knot in the heart. Vidyate hridaya granthi. In Sanskrit it's called hridaya granthi. Every soul at some point in the beginning of coming down to the material world got attracted by the allure activities of illusory energy. I'm paraphrasing what I read many years back. Then a person born not in the material world, not in the spiritual world, but in the junction, who put a knot between the me, the conscious being, or the soul, with the dead matter. This is called false ego. That knot is the false ego. Now you are trapped. So Krishna consciousness means when you take initiation, one who is liberated, when he gives the mantra, that mantra chanting, it makes it poked in that knot. Poking, like poking. You're making a little hole. Now slowly all misgiving as we are chanting, it's disappearing. But that metaphor sounds good. But actually, when you start the process, not necessarily everything is good, but we can see that way. Just like when I remember when I had a sickness. So I remember this friend of mine, a devotee doctor. He says you can look at two ways. You can look at you're getting out of the sickness and you feel good about it, or you can say, gosh, I'm suffering, and you just be miserable. And that choice we have. We cannot say the body's suffering is like a karmi. No. One is in hospital under doctor's supervision as a patient, and one is suffering outside, haven't met the doctor. It's not same. And maybe the suffering may appear like same, but under the doctor's supervision, he's getting better, and he'll be cured forever. But the patient who the person who has a disease never came to doctor, where is the chance for him to get ever better? So it's not same. So devotee suffering and the outside suffering, material suffering, is not same. Should not be same. Because this is the power of bhakti. It can digest the ego. Bhakti can digest the ego. What happens when something is digested? After the stomach burns the food, the good portion go into the bloodstream. You can ask a doctor, pathologist, they will tell you. Or the unnecessary ones are eliminated and leave the body in the bathroom. This happens automatically. You don't have to analyze what happened when you're doing bhakti. Generally, we think our mind is like not happy. You want to know what's going on, what will happen. You don't. Like when you take a medicine, you don't know really how the medicine is working, but you have a faith it will work because there is a good doctor, he understood my name, and it works. So similarly, bhakti works. This process works for sure. We don't have to waste our time analytically, but we must be alert with the GPS that we are taking the medicine on time, and this is the symptom should be seen. There's difference than how it is working. Just like you watering the plant, you making the sun, giving the sunshine to the plant. But you don't have to worry when the flower and fruit will come out. Should I pull it out? Do I have to do it? No. If you give the nourishment, if you supply what the plant needs, in due course of time, without your wondering about it, naturally the flower and fruits will come out at the mature stage. Similarly, bhakti will take care, because this happens automatically. You don't have to analyze what happens. You don't have to think about it to make it happen. It works by the power of digestion for the stomach. We see that. So similarly, Bhagavatam, here Chaitanya Charitamrta states this bhakti, devotional service, dissolves the subtle body, including the ego, without any separate effort. And Kapil Dev, I remember, gave there's a verse, I don't remember exactly where it is. It's in Bhagavatam 3rd canto. Jarayate asu nirginam anala jatha. Just as the fire digestion digests everything we eat. Similarly, when you perform bhakti, bhakti will dissolve the false ego. If you have an ego problem, this means your spiritual digestion is not strong enough. In such moment, you have to ask yourself, how can I step up my practice of bhakti? How can I chant? What can I do today that is just for Krishna's pleasure, without having my own selfish desire in my mind? Then offer service with feeling. This is what counts, with feeling. You will see how your spiritual digestion will become blazing. As Prabhupada very nicely explained, that sadhu sangha causes attention. Generally, you see that if you are with a senior devotees, you feel some attraction towards Krishna automatically, naturally. And that attention causes attraction. And that attraction causes attachment. Then you will see so many times this line is given. Guna Krishna hoya kare nirmala bhajan. All these people in this chapter explaining that they do bhajan to Krishna, they engage devotional service by the attraction of that quality. How do you get that? By the association of those who is seeing that quality, who is attracted to that quality. So this is very important. One time, Bhakti Charu Maharaj said a story, I remember. He said, a disciple asked to Prabhupada, he was crying, why so much suffering I'm going through? Prabhupada replied, only one word. Can you think? I'm asking the audience, can you think one word Prabhupada says, not two or three? He says, desire. That was very profound when I heard that. It's like, wow, it's scary. Because this is what you can be in spiritual, you can be in material. That decision you make. The attitude, spiritual generally means you see the attitude behind the endeavor. And material means you only judge according to his endeavor or the person's endeavor. In generally in the spiritual thriving or in our practice, first place we lose battle. We lose the battle like, I'm not attracted to Krishna consciousness. Where are you coming up with this? First loss in the battle is in our thinking. It's so important. The first place we lose the battle is in our thinking. That's why materialistic always think Krishna consciousness has no value without the world. Need more money, need more enjoyment. Then this is the mentality of Duryodhana. When Krishna gave an option, if you remember, I think I narrated this few weeks back, a few months back, that Krishna says, I will join, but I will not fight. Or I have a 900,000, 9 lakh soldiers. Duryodhana immediately wanted the soldiers. Why? Because he find the world has no value. He found that Krishna or God has no value without the world, without the power, without the wealth, without the soldiers. But Arjuna was opposite. We need that side. Arjuna saw the world has no value without Krishna. So we are looking for Krishna connection, not world connection, not more money, not more this. Happiness will not come from the sense enjoyment for long run. It will come and it will disappoint us. Yes, it will give us some enjoyment for a while, and then it will disappoint, and we'll regret, oh, I wasted whole life like this. So that's why for the devotee, world has no value without Krishna. That's why Arjuna picked. He said, my Lord, you just come. Even Krishna was testing. He said, but I'm not going to fight. He said, doesn't matter. If you are there, everything is there. This is intelligent. This is intelligent. See, we have a problem with the material memories. Material memories are automatically preserved. You don't have to worry about it. You don't have to remember, like it's already there. But devotional memories need to be consciously preserved. This is very important. The material memories are automatically preserved. Nobody goes to college. I already interviewed, even among the Gurukul. Nobody goes to college or university to learn how to do sex or eat and sleep, watch a movie. Nobody goes there for sense enjoyment. It's automatically. I saw with my own son, youngest son. The moment he was born in a best birthing center in San Diego, I placed him next to my wife's breast milk and he started sucking. He didn't even see anybody. His eyes is not even open. He grabbed the breast and started drinking milk. So the sense enjoyment, it's a default with this conditional state. Not with the soul, but with the body and the mind. But because the body and soul is identifying body as a self or mind as a self, so these material memories are automatically preserved. But when you remember a sloka, after a few years you forget. Why? Because devotional memories need to be consciously preserved. In the beginning stage, our love for the Lord is compared to like a small candle. I mentioned that before also. And Rupa Goswami Pad makes this point. And if a little strong sense enjoyment idea comes, we kind of like give up practice even. So what should we do? We should do some austerity to increase our devotion to a point where it is no more a little candle flame. It is a good amount of fire. Where the wind come, opposition come, actually it become blazing instead of like going down. That is required. So what do we understand? We are trying to purify. So we conclude that purification means to change our default definition of happiness. Why? Because our desires are not just linear. They are also triangular, means you know Krishna, you develop love for Krishna by the help of a third person you can call Guru or Vaishnava, Sadhu Guru. So, Srila Prabhupada and the servant and Krishna, all these three relationships should be focused. Even in Karmi world, I remember I used to see that or hear that you are what your deep driving desire is. As your desire is so is your will. As your will is so is your deed. And they say as your deed is so is your destiny. This is from Purana. Upanishad. Brihadaranyaka Upanishad actually explained this. So this is important. That as I mentioned off and on, that we need Krishna's experience more than Krishna's explanation. Doing what we don't feel like doing is not necessarily being superficial. Even one initiated devotees felt like, oh, it's so much like I have to take a little time off and do more work to pile up some money so I can have a little peaceful. But this is a wrong conception. Even after speaking with him, that he thought that he felt, which is not him. He's a very nice devotee. Now he's very sincere. He came out of that. Doing what we don't feel like doing is not necessarily being superficial. Some people may ask, why should I practice bhakti when I don't feel like doing it? Generally, sometimes like we chant. After a while, if we don't get a taste, after many, many years or decades, we feel like, gosh, I'm not getting something. Am I supposed to feel happy about it? I feel like I'm doing something superficial. I don't want to be superficial. Mind may trigger us. This is what mind do. I won't do it for show to the other devotee that I am a sincere devotee. But the philosophy, Krishna, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Prabhupada explained very nicely. Even if we don't feel like practicing bhakti or like chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, but if we keep chanting it, then we are doing the opposite of being superficial. You may say, how? We are going deeper into the very innate longing for Krishna. And this is, we don't want to brag about it, we do feel that existence now in our life. A longing that is presently covered by the impurities which are present in the mind, which is the actual superficial nature for us as souls. And at that time, you will see those who are not chanting, you will feel like they are living a superficial life. They may have a multi-million or whatever, but this is a superficial life. You don't want to be part of that. Of course, you will be compassionate to bring that soul back to Krishna. Because the life they live, but until you come to that point, you may feel sometimes bhakti is superficial, but it is not. That's why I'm encouraging, in a sense, that in a practical reality, we also went through that, and we come to a point that, no, this is the real life. This is a happyful, joyful, spiritual life. But it looks like we are doing the opposite in the beginning. Generally, those who join in the beginning in the movement, majority of them are escaper. Escaper means they don't want to look at the world anymore. They don't want to get involved. They join and they want to have a very secluded, I want to just chant and think of Krishna. Very nice, they're sincere. Actually, it's good. And this is necessary to attract them like that. But if they forget the purpose, majority sometimes happen like this. that the goal is not to look at the world, but to transcend the world. Escaping from the world, that I am with Krishna, I don't want to be part of like going outside or doing shopping or mix with the karmis or this, that. I'm just going to be isolated, like feel like I'm escaping from the world. But bhakti is not an escaper process. Okay, you may feel like this in the beginning. This is true. I also felt like this. I'm better than all my brothers, sisters, even though they are materially better. I don't want to be part of it. I am with Krishna. This is the best. That's good. But that's not our purpose. Purpose is to transcend. And Prabhupada is so merciful, he added that. While we're transcending, that's not our purpose either, he says. Sorry, that's not only purpose. We should transcend while we are transforming the world. Means help your brother, sister, neighbor, as many devotees possible. Transform the world. This is Krishna's world. It's for Krishna's pleasure. So we are not escaper. In the karmi world, they are all either escaper or reactive. Those who are escaper means they take shelter of drug, alcohol. They want to escape from the boring or loneliness, or they see something they feel uncomfortable. That's what attracts them to go to drug or alcohol or any addiction. And those who are reactive, modes of passion, they will be reactive. They will be fighting. They will be like passionately doing something not necessarily good for them. Maybe in the beginning it's good, but at the end they regret also. Death comes, they die, and it's suffering. Those who are in a Sattva-gun, they take shelter of the religious life, which is good. But Krishna consciousness is transcendental platform, means we want to take shelter of Krishna. In the beginning, escaping from the world is okay, but that's not our purpose. We want to transcend while we are transforming the world also. So I'll end with this. I just noticed that it's almost 12. If there is any question or discussion, I'm sorry I didn't go too much, just few slokas. There's so much on those slokas. Any reflection or discussion?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you very much for the class. 2 points which I really liked was one where you gave the example of going through a sickness and one being under the care of a doctor and one not. Very nice example. Very well. And also the point that really was very strong was that spiritual desires have to be consciously cultivated where material desires just come naturally. That was a very powerful point. And then the last one that I really liked was that we're not escapers and that we are to transcend the material world, but at the same time we need to transform the world. So very nice class. Thank you.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. Oh, I have a problem with the phone. Let's see.
No, it is not you, Prabhu. I'm sorry. I just got disconnected, but I'm back.
Okay, I'm back. I'm sorry, my iPod was not working. Well, thank you. I appreciate that 3 points that you picked up, and I appreciate that. To repeat that.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Any other reflection or correction, question?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Yes. This issue that you emphasized about, our Krishna consciousness not being superficial, or as I put it, artificial. When we are chanting and you're not feeling that spontaneous attraction to Krishna, it can feel very artificial, and it doesn't help when we often hear from senior devotees who have been chanting for decades, I'm only now maybe beginning to get some kind of taste, So, I guess my question is how to do our chanting when this, because doing it when you're not feeling it, it really does feel very artificial. And so how to really have faith that the spontaneous attraction will actually come when it seems light years away, and when you hear about people who have been chanting for decades practically saying this same thing, that, I don't have the taste, It almost becomes like a Christianity thing where you have to just, do your thing and hope for the best,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yes.
So how to get, encouragement, yeah.
Mm-hmm. What I understand when I start Bhagavatam, also we have our own spiritual insight, what we hear, what we contemplate and reflect, what we assimilate, what we digest, what we realize, and then we compare with the devotional principle. This is what our acharyas are saying and where I am at, how it relates. So we put both. Like for an example, when you hear Prabhupada say, chant and be happy. Now, is it like a component, or is it like a end result? It's like when you chant, you will be happy, or is it like an instruction, you're supposed to be happy and chanting? Which one? So, because Prabhupada he gave such a highest idiom, highest proverb, you can say, that, chant and be happy. What is that literally means? It's both. Because what I understand from my own experience, that it is the happiness is generally experienced or perceived in a few ways. One of the ways is that when we ask, is it like emotion, or is it like a decision, commitment we make to Guru, that, I'm going to stick to following Four Noble Principle and chant Hare Krishna. Is it like a benediction, or it's a decision, or it's a emotion? What is it? Well, it's all, actually. Because feeling happy or not happy is emotion in one sense. But we are conscious being, means thinking, willing, feeling, all are in three levels. We have a physical level, we have a mental level, and we have a soul level or constitutional position. So when we are choosing happiness as my decision, I made a decision, I'm going to follow my Guru Maharaj, and I'm going to, that's it, I made a commitment, I'm just going to stay there. And even if challenges come, we do not deviate. We some or other stick to the commitment, the decision. And eventually we see that actually that decision itself is actually happiness. I give you a crude example. I think I mentioned that before once, because this happened. Once we were on a journey to one town, and within 150 miles, I mean, those days, nowadays you have so much facility of GPS, all these things. Those days we had no idea. From AAA we had this map. I'm sure you are familiar with it. They would give you a map to go to another big town, how to go there, navigate. So we were going, and we are really like starving for like 6 hours, and we wanted to stop. And it's all cowboys, this type of restaurant, there's nothing else, and then we could not find anything. They don't have anything vegetarian. Then we went, drove again few hours, then one devotee was like so sick, he said, I need to eat something. I really didn't eat the whole night, and this whole morning now is almost like afternoon. Like. And because he didn't make decision to do fasting, it's not Ekadashi or anything. So anyway, and he had a little problem also with his health issue, and he's a very sincere devotee. So we went to one restaurant, and we asked if we can have something vegetarian, and we thought we'd offer it. So that was a long time back, for 30 years, just that part of from San Diego to Arizona, the freeway 8 becomes 10. There's nothing really for few miles. I mean, few 100 miles. So then they gave a tray. I'll never forget. Very nice person, and so we were a little fanatic. We just said, okay, everything is vegetarian? I said, yes. He said, but you are hesitating. He said, well, 99%. So what is 1%? Maybe little beef or something mixed. We tried our best. He said, no, we don't want it. Thank you. And we walked out. So then we talked about it. For 3-4 hours, there was no other prasad. So we went almost like evening. And then we arrived at some devotees used to live nearby. We got any prasadam after 30 hours. But the point was that the decision we made, was it giving us suffering or happiness? We actually talked amongst us. Actually, it gave us happiness. What was the happiness? It is the decision that we made. We do not want to be part of any violent activity, at least mother cow. Nothing. So then it gave us, so I reflect, so many things happen in life, and we look at it, that choosing happiness as my decision, then what we do? We open to do sadhana, practice, as Krishna conscious stimuli. Bhagavad Gita also says, cultivate satisfaction as austerity. And most of the devotees, that's what they do. They do austerity, that they get up and they want to chant and they want to finish their rounds. And the point is that if you practically see the view of the world, there are some people who have no happiness in decision or emotion. You know what happened to them, those people? They create irritation. They're miserable to themselves, and whoever is around them, they also make them miserable. Nobody around is like that. Later on, all reject that. And so he was sad, now he's more sad. Eventually it's disaster, that commotion. But then there is another group of people in this world that they think the happiness, or they make the happiness as an emotion. But problem is, they don't make a decision to maintain their happiness. So what happens? They feel sometimes happy, sometimes not happy. And this is majority people also. Not majority, I mean most of the people also goes through like this in life. So make happiness as a decision, even if emotion may not be there. That is devotional, we begin with. Bhakti generally is a process of joy, and it will deliver joy. We can count blessing as joy. Also perform with joy. Bhagavad Gita says this. With the sukha, with the happiness we perform. So test to see where happiness coming from may be very difficult, maybe from Krishna, from the soul or the mind. Sometimes we think, where this happiness I'm feeling is coming from? Is it from Krishna? Is it from the soul? Is it from the mind? We don't need to like analytically. Why? Because if that happiness is reminding of Krishna more and bringing us close to Krishna, then it is good. Certain thing we may not be able to capture. So, happiness comes from many angles. If somebody actually literally follows this path, and they will come. Because I had also doubt, Mataji. Once upon a time, I had a doubt. Okay, I want to stay as a spiritual, religious person. But is it like a lifestyle we live on? Or is it something like we need to add from the outside world to remain happy and progress in spiritual path? Well, actually, we don't need to go anywhere. We can utilize everything. We are not renouncer or exploiter. We should just engage, utilize us. We should utilize, and eventually we'll see that everything will come along. And if somebody say, well, it's easy to talk, maybe you feel happy in your spiritual path. I do. I don't want to lie, but we don't brag about it because there is, false ego may come and make it worse. But point is, if somebody say, well, I'm not getting it, how come many decades then they may have to associate with those devotees who actually experiencing. Why? Because this process works 100%. But the connection may not be connected 100%. Maybe just it's coming off and on, just sliding off. It is not superficial. It is real. The karmic world is superficial. That's the reality.
Well, superficial because their pleasures are temporary, or how do you mean they're superficial for the karmis?
Superficial in a sense that they are taking the bodily enjoyment as the soul enjoyment. Mm-hmm. Did you have an experience ever, or you heard about parasites?
Yes, I've heard. I've heard about
the body. Yeah, I'm sorry.
No, I'm saying I have heard. I've heard. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I have a very close friend. He's an Indian doctor, and he told me. I told him to research something more detailed. He said actually parasites in a subtle way makes the soul to feel that he is hungry. Just an example.
Makes the soul feel what?
Hungry. But it is not the soul feeling hungry. A soul needs to. It is not actually soul experiencing hungry, but soul thinking I am the body. Not only body. The parasite creates the atmosphere where soul thinks I am hungry, and then he eats. But actually, even the body did not get anything. The parasite got it. Mm-hmm. Parasite ate it, and they are enjoying, delighting. And if they could see in a microscopic way, they would be say, "Oh my gosh, this was not even my body, even not nourished. It is the parasite who is delighting, and they are growing in numbers. They are going to take over with sickness." So like this, our mind and the physical body is like a parasite. It creates impression to the soul that this is what we. In that sense, it's superficial. Yes, there is a happiness in sex and food and TV and everything because it's all reflection of the origin. But this will not give neither eternal long run nor and another also danger is that this impression it keeps us wandering in this world. That's why I mentioned these material memories are automatically preserved. In a sense, they stay there. Prabhupada asked a question. No, I'm sorry. He made a statement, not question. That in Bhagavad Gita, 2nd chapter, that what keeps the prisoner in the prison or in jail is the bar. Yes, the law is there, the guard is there, but if the door was not locked, nobody would be there. So because the gate is locked, everybody is stuck there. Otherwise they would just walk out and go. Similarly, what keeps us wandering in this material enjoyment is the impression, the memories. I mean, there's one nice devotee, he's long time in the movement, and he's over 60, and then he felt like some challenges with controlling senses. And some or other, he didn't take advice of any association of close friends, and he went with it. And now he feels like, oh my God, I made this young girl pregnant, she's with a child, and I'm like, I want to be like, why I'm in this trouble? And this is what the material enjoyment ends with. Now, of course, he has to be responsible and bring that soul into Krishna consciousness. He should not ignore or neglect. He did it. But my point is, this is another problem with the material enjoyment. It is superficial in a sense, it doesn't satisfy the soul forever. And it does not give a satisfaction ultimate sense.
Okay, so basically what you're saying is that the happiness we can experience it on various levels, whether it be emotional or maybe, I don't know if you get some kind of direct mercy from Krishna, or we can take satisfaction in our decision making.
Very good.
Something like this.
Very good. Yes, you're understanding very good that because in the beginning of our spiritual life, we make a decision. Even though Guru gives the japa beads and initiation, but we have to make the decision that I want to stay loyal to him, loyal to her, to my Guru. Because nowadays we have also Vaishnavi Diksha Guru. We have to be loyal to our commitment to Krishna and Guru, and if that decision with conscious contemplation and reflection, it becomes more and more absorbed, then what happens? Emotion eventually will appear. Emotion will follow. When the decision is undeviated, commitment is so strong, and emotion follows, then its combination becomes love of Godhead. It's a real happiness. Decision itself is not going to be forever. Decision with emotion following eventually, but it may take a little time for some people. Some people maybe it follows. But material emotion does not have a spiritual decision. So it has a flickering, someday good, someday bad. This is what life is. And there are so-called spiritual, some people are trying to be spiritual. They say, okay, we are spirit, we are, nowadays is new age things, so much going on. I met this teacher, he said, at least I know I'm not a product of this world. I said, yes, self-conception, self-acknowledgement should not stop you for self-improving. He said, what do you mean? I said, just to know that your spirit is not enough. You have to improve. Otherwise you will go back. It is not possible you stay in that position. It is a flickering. It is better than those who are thinking body is the self. So now you know if you are the spirit, you are conscious being, you are not part of this body or mind. You are separate. Separately exist without them. But now you are in a combination. You cannot escape from the mind and body. Rather you want to utilize this. That's good. So self-conception means self-improving. Should not shut the door that, okay, now we know we are spirit. That's not enough. This is the danger also. They don't promote Krishna consciousness. They just divert people. Yeah, I mean, you feel better. Escaper is not bad, but it doesn't last long. It's like, you'll see a lot of people join, they feel happy also in Krishna consciousness. And after a few years, they feel like their happiness is like a diminishing. Because it was not that enthusiasm. Well, because you were like escaping from the material world, which is good. At least you are not focusing on the material world, but we are still in this world. That's why that our goal should be focused, that we have to transcend. And while we are transcending, Prabhupada said, it is not enough. You have to do paropakar. Mahaprabhu says that you have to practice and preach. Means you transcend and transform the world. Both.
So when you are in an undeviated way, or at least in a somewhat steady way, trying to make Krishna conscious decisions, I think you said then, the happy emotions will follow. And those happy emotions, will be coming from the soul, right? Not from the mind. Or, I don't know, initially, is it from the mind or is it both? That happiness.
This takes a gradual progression. It is not like a accidental or automatically. Not like immediately. It may take little time, in a sense that when we make the decision, we practice, and in the beginning I think, the other Maharaj is better than my Guru, I like his lecture. These are offensive way of looking at it. So there's a lot of contamination takes place in our decision, and neophyte ideas, and a lot of destruction comes. When the decision is pure, and we are practicing on it, then it will bring us to some attachment. That attachment will give us attraction. When that attraction becomes strong, then emotion will appear slowly. Without absorption, there is no emotion. So it takes spiritual emotion. So it takes little gradual. Some people can speed up, but it is not that easy. It is because it is not only self-willingness. Of course, willingness is very important. Willingness is a conscious choice that every sadhaka or practitioner has. This is a number one. Because even if somebody may give you mercy, even Prabhupada give you mercy and Bhaktivinoda Thakur give you mercy, Mahaprabhu can give you mercy, but if you don't want to practice, you can still go away. That means willingness is very powerful. That's why the self-desire is so powerful that it can, it is very important. But at the same time, that by the association of those devotees, we can feel more attraction. And it is needed. Without attraction, the attachment will not be pure and the absorption will not appear. When the absorption comes, then emotion follows. Then the decision and emotion combined, you will never come down anymore. You don't want anymore. You feel like, there's a verse in 6th chapter Bhagavad Gita. It says, Jam labdha chaparam labham mannate na adhikatam tata. You feel like, I don't need anything anymore. I just want to be a nice devotee and serve other devotees. I want to just chant and just, the whole world belongs to Krishna. Everybody belongs to Krishna. I will try to do. You are not disturbed anymore. Even your body may be falling apart, but you are spiritually so enlivened, you are like Prabhupada. His liver failed one time. This toothache. In Australia, Parisari Prabhu writes that the dentist told that he needs to rest few days. It should not allow even to talk one word. He has a severe pain on his tooth. And after a few hours, Prabhupada said, why nobody is coming today for, generally in the afternoon, 4 o'clock, he has some appointment with some dignitary, professor or some big guy. that they invite to meet Prabhupada. And they didn't invite because dentists weren't. And Prabhupada was so furious. He said, why? I'm eager to preach. Then you know, you think, Sutakirti Prabhu asked Prabhupada, is pure devotee feel suffering while they are going through it? Looks like they are going through suffering. Prabhupada says, no, pure devotee don't suffer, but their suffering is like a love bite. You know the conception of love bite. It's in, I think, American term. It's not in India, you know, I don't think. Love bite is like a between among the husband and wife or lover and beloved.
Mm-hmm.
And Prabhupada used that word. In first canto 9th chapter, a few pages I saw Prabhupada use that word on Bhishma Dev. And there's a hurting, the blood is coming out. Prabhupada said this is a love bite. So Prabhupada said pure devotee suffering is like a love bite. It is not really suffering like conditioned soul, but they feel some intense actually union with the Lord. It's difficult to give an example of the material sense that what actually they feel that made them. And Prabhupada practically, I'm glad that he went through some suffering and he proved it that actually he's not suffering. Like Bhishma Dev also proved it. He was on the arrow bed, all blood came out, he's still speaking like fluent. Prabhupada did not have a muscle, he only had a bones. But Jayadutta Maharaj remembers, so many devotees remembers, Rama Shraddha Prabhu, he said that he was chanting, he was like giving as if like nothing hurting him, even though he didn't have any muscle when he was leaving this world. So it's very exciting in a sense that now spiritually when you are enlivened in that position, it is the most exciting position everybody is looking for. And we want to come in this life.
That love bite you're talking, I think in this country we have this expression that, you know, it hurts so good, you know that expression.
Okay. Oh, really? That's what they think. Love bite is like good.
Well, you know, if you know, you might have, I don't know about, you know, whether it's love bite or something else, you know, you might experience some kind of pain, and the person says, oh, it hurts so good, you know, even though it's like, somehow or other, even though you're going through some kind of pain or austerity or something, but at the same time it also has some nice effect also, you know. So it's like a contradiction, but
I'm sure Prabhupada knew it, that's why he said to Sutakirti. He said it's just like a love bite. It's not actually, they don't suffer, he said they don't suffer. But it's like...
Yeah, but still, this happiness that the devotees feel, you know, before the stage of bhava, right? This happiness is coming really mostly from the mind, or can you say it's coming from both the mind and the soul before bhava?
The Krishna is in the heart of each living entity, Krishna claims. Many places in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Sarvasya Chaham Hridhi. Hridhi means in the heart. What is the heart? So Prabhupada explained heart means there's a thinking, willing, feeling. In the center of this thinking, willing, feeling is the heart. Now we're not talking about the physical heart or mental heart. We're talking about the soul's heart, where Krishna is. Means the thinking, willing, feeling. The center of that thinking, willing, feeling is the heart. So, what is mind? Mind is now if you have a mirror and you look at in the mirror, will you see something in the mirror that is not on your face?
No.
So mind and heart is like this. Heart, inside the heart Krishna is feeding, you are also there. So the reflection of the heart is the mind. Like your reflection in the mirror. Well, mirror, I don't like it, I see something not good. Well, it is in your face. Otherwise it would not be there in the mirror. Mirror does not produce something different than you. So similarly, so you cannot really say it's not mind or it's from Krishna. It's all combination. That's why Mahaprabhu says we have to purify the heart. Means thinking, willing, feeling. What we think, what we are aware of it. This is what boils down. Purifying heart means like what we think. Are we thinking good or bad? Is it offensive or is it, glorification? Am I have a proper attitude towards this devotee, or I am having a bad attitude towards the devotee? So this is what Krishna watches. He's sitting there in that thinking, willing, feeling.
But you say that he is in the middle of this thinking, feeling, willing, but
when the center,
in the center, but
center means you cannot go around, you cannot go without it. At the same time, you may go around it and you think it is not there. It's a center is very unique. The way Prabhupada put it is very unique. That Krishna is in the center. Center means you can even to speak right now to you. He has to permit. Bhagavad Gita, he says, Upadrasta, Onumanta, Bhakta, Bhukta, Maheshwara, Paramatmeti Chapi, Ito, Dehosmin, Purusho, Para. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, I am situated in your heart, allowing you to speak, allowing you to think. So he is aware, at the same time, I'm sure you live in America, you have an idea of a smell of roses. You have an idea of smell of skunk. Now, your eyes may be closed, but if the skunk passed by, your eyes are closed, you didn't see. But by smelling, you did not see the skunk, but you can say, yes, skunk is nearby or passed by. Can't you?
Yes.
So something like this, like roses, the smell is coming by. You say, yeah, roses are nearby. Well, you didn't see the roses. How do you know? Well, so the experience or identity of the object is like this. We experience so many things. Just like a wind. You don't see the wind, but you see the effect of the wind. It's knocking moving the tree, moving like this. So similarly, he's there. He's aware fully. At the same time, he's not involved, intervening. Unless you turn towards him, he said, hey, you are the one who is giving me permission to speak. You are the one who is, thank you so much. Then he pays attention. Oh, you are realizing I am there with you. It makes him happy.
Okay, just trying to understand the analogy a little better. Just like, I can, even without seeing, I can understand if there are roses passing or a skunk passing, right? So similarly, just because I am thinking, feeling, willing, I can understand that Krishna is present, allowing for these things. Was that the analogy?
Yes. But if you recognize, that pleases him.
Yeah. But Krishna will be in the center of thinking, feeling, willing, even for, let's say, atheists, but even though he is in the center of thinking, feeling, willing, even for them, they won't recognize, right? A skunk will pass and they won't
Yes.
recognize that a skunk has passed or something like that.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. Yes. Good.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank
Any
you so
other,
much.
or we stop here, or?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. I hope we have time for just one more question.
Sure, I'll try.
Okay. Thank you so very much for the class. It was very enlightening and very powerful. I just wanted to clarify something that you said in the beginning about bhakti. I think you said bhakti in the beginning for us as devotees brings us to devotion, but our intelligence protects our devotion. So that I was hoping you could say just a little something about how we actively cultivate that intelligence.
Very intelligent question. Thank you. In Chaitanya Charitamrta, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, those who are eager to awaken their spiritual consciousness and who thus have unflinching, undeviated intelligence certainly attain the desired goal of life very soon. First thing we need to know that what is intelligence? Intelligence means to understand how mind makes us misunderstand. You get that? Intelligence means that how mind, so you can separate. Okay, for an example, I give you an example that Srila Prabhupada says, chant Hare Krishna. You'll be happy. And you are seeing that, well, right now, maybe my friend says, there is a movie just came in, it's about some divorce. Even though it has nothing to do with you. But my friend loves it, she wants to see it, or he wants to see, and inviting you. Mm-hmm. But you want to chant extra rounds and you feel very enlivened to follow Prabhupada's instruction. So now you're seeing the mind and the intelligence. Intelligence says, so if you follow the instruction of Prabhupada, that time you have the mind, but mind becomes under intelligence. Mm-hmm. If you say, well, maybe I should just take little time off and watch the movie, why not? Just to see what it is. That time, intelligence became under the mind. Mm-hmm. So, when intelligence becomes under the mind, it is called material intelligence. When intelligence makes mind under him or it becomes spiritual intelligence. Mm-hmm. And in Bhagavad Gita 6.5, Prabhupada, I may have to paraphrase. Uddharet atma atmanoyam na atma avasadayet. Atmaiva atmana bandhu atmaiva ripur atmana. So Prabhupada, or you can break down that you can elevate yourself or uplift or deliver yourself. How? With the help of your mind, Prabhupada says. Mm. So you need mind, but then Prabhupada also gave a warning, not degrading himself. So, and then in that sloka, Krishna gives that mind is your friend, mind is your, mind is the friend of conditioned soul and also his enemy as well. So question comes, when we talking about the intelligence has to guide us, what does that mean? Means when you follow a spiritual instruction of Guru, Prabhupada or scriptures, that time intelligence is guiding you to focus in the path. What happened to the mind? Mind comes under the intelligence. Like in America we see a sheriff when he put a criminal in the back. The criminal still have a criminal mentality, but he has a handcuff and he is locked. So even though it is there, he is there, but he cannot function violently or criminal way. But in his mind, that is there. Say he is a serial killer, but he can't do anything right now because he is handcuffed and he cannot move his much. He is like air. So mind becomes like that. When you follow spiritual instruction, That time intelligence makes the mind arrested like that. That time mind is your friend. Not that mind became a friend, but mind is your friend because mind itself cannot grasp everything. But intelligence also cannot do everything. Because intelligence does not have a connection with the senses. Intelligence has to go through the mind to get the senses. And if you saw the picture in the Bhagavad Gita, that the driver is the intelligence, passenger is the soul, and horses are the senses, and in connecting horses, the senses, and the driver is the rein, or the mind. So they need each other to operate, function in this world, spiritually or material. So when you follow the instruction of Guru or Shastra or Sadhu, that time mind become arrested and intelligence get the job done through the mind, through the senses, through the mind by the senses. That time it is spiritual. That time you are guarded against sense enjoyment. And if you allow, that part is within you. You allow the mind to explore, then the mind wants the intelligence to come under. That time it is material intelligence. That time it cannot help spiritually. How long? How long this dilemma we have to face? Sarupa Goswami Pad gives a sloka in Nectar of Devotion. Tad bhavati madhurje srute dhira apekshate natra shastram na yuktim tat lobhotpatti lakshanam. Until you develop that greed love for the Lord, like Prabhupada does not need, he may say that because somebody actually asked Prabhupada, you don't feel any attraction to a young girl, they're so beautiful, joining? Prabhupada said, yes, but my intelligent guard. Of course, he's acting as a sadhaka, but he's a Mahabhagavat. Mahabhagavat, their love, they have a love. The love itself guides them. So they don't need intelligent mind dilemma. Love itself is impetus. So powerful, the feeling in your own life, Mataji, you can see. Your feeling for your child is so strong. Intelligent mind sometimes don't work. When you have so much affection for the child who is suffering or whatever. So similarly, feeling is the best. Higher, less than feeling is the awareness or acknowledge, and then less than that is thinking. So there's the gradation. So feeling is very powerful, but the feeling for the Lord, that love, is ultimately we all have to have. But until we reach that point, intelligence has to guide. Intelligence has to guide. There's a verse, I don't know exactly where it is in Bhagavatam. In the beginning, you can read the purport Prabhupada gave, very nice. It says, Etad ishasya ishanam prakritistopi tadgune na jujyote sada atmasthita jada buddhir aswaya. Prabhupada quote this verse, that's how I learned it, that so long we are in this material world, we should always take shelter of the intelligence to keep us guarded, so we can focus in bhakti. Intelligence can bring us to Krishna. Intelligence cannot give Krishna. Bhakti will give Krishna. But intelligence can, I would not say bring to Krishna, can guard us to focus to come to Krishna. Otherwise, mind will just disturb us. And those who take shelter mind, they deviate, sometimes go off, and then they come back after 30 years, 20 years. Then they regret. They go on like this. Because mind and intelligence, they're like each other fighting. Who can take over the position? But you are supposed to be the owner. But the soul is not mature enough spiritually. That's why it's like a infant, how do you say, the child king. He will be the king of this country, but he is a child, and the ministers are exploiting and telling the king, you should do this, you should do this, you should do this, and nobody is training. And if you think of that analogy, Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur says, then question comes that when the child will become mature. Well, when he cannot be mature by the ministers, because they will give all the wrong, because they want to fulfill their desire through the king. He is legitimate owner of the country, so they are going to abuse his power to fulfill their desire, the mind and body. Similar, like they are compared like minister. So how can he become mature? If he has a foreign, like we see in America sometimes. I'm not promoting this, just an example. Like America sometimes help another country with the ruling, and then they take over their enemy, and then they flourish. So similarly, we need a foreign element called spiritual energy. Has to come through Guru, through Sadhu, holy name. They can take over and mold us and help us to fight with this minister. Then we will become mature and grow up. And then until that point, intelligent God. I don't know, did I go around too much or did I make it?
No, it was beautiful. Thank you so very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Danat, Prabhu, Danat Pranam, or glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. This is so nice class, Prabhu, and it's so deep and it's very practical to practice in our life. For me, especially, I need to hear more and more and reflect all the points, Prabhu. And all the questions were so nice. Thank you, Gaurani Mataji, Krishna Mataji, Panasuri Mataji, for asking such beautiful questions. Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you, Mata, for allowing me to serve you all.
Thank you. Hare Krishna, is there any question or comment for Prabhuji? Thank you, Prabhuji. Maybe we can end the call, Prabhu. I hope you will give your recitation again and again. Really helpful.
Thank you.
For us, Prabhu.
Thank you for allowing me to serve you all again. Vancha kalpa sarvesya. Oh, should we say in English?
It's okay, Prabhu. Vancha kalpa sarvesya kripa sindhu evasya patitanam pavanebhyo namo. Pran Govind Prabhu ji ki jai. Caritamrta ki jai. All the family devotees ki jai. Thank you everyone for joining. Hare Krishna.